again, and welcome to the show that, man, you don't need a space heater to get warm. This is the Sports Box. The only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mike Aletta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger Chart. Brian, how are you?
Do you have a space heater?
I think I could probably use one
I could use one right now, too.
I think I lost feeling in my fingers. That's okay.
It's snowy in Jersey this week.
Yeah,
guys, so.
man, it is bitter cold out here. We're from up in the Northeast all our lives, but man, it's cold up here.
You know, one of your funny stories, I had a friend of mine visit from Florida. He's like, oh, I can't, and he grew up here. He's like, oh, it's so cold outside. I'm like,
It's 48 in Florida right now. It's a heat wave up here.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
I'd love that.
And, our show. Let's get to
you mean the reason we're here?
Yeah, let's get to our show, our Kansas City Chiefs preview show. We're going to talk about the Andy Reid-driven Chiefs. So Brian, while you're flipping over there, why don't you stat me on the Kansas City
Well,
Chiefs?
you know what's funny? You know, the Chiefs are one of the more interesting teams all year.
Yep.
Because it feels like it's been a barbell. They started out great, and then it was like wasteland, and now they're like good again.
More of a scale. They've been up and down so much. I mean, they started off the season 5-0.
Yeah.
And then fell apart, got to 500, and then you talk about the 1-6 Chiefs. They're going to try to make the playoffs. They beat the Chargers to get the division locked up. And, I mean, this has been back and forth. You talk about the Chiefs team that had Tariq Hunt in the beginning of the year. Here's a guy we thought was going to be Rookie of the Year.
I didn't know you meant Tyreek Hill.
I mean Tyreek Hill.
You kind of put the two
together.
together.
I say Hunt,
You said Tyreek Hunt. I'm like, who's that?
He's a mixed breed. We use him on both sides.
He'd be really good.
I mean, we talked about Hunt in the beginning of the season that, he's going to be the guy that's just going to take this team to another level, and he really kind of leveled off in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Really kind of disappeared at some points for them too. But you talk about Tyreek Hill, who's really gotten the job done for them downfield. Running punts back, running kickoffs back. Yeah, I mean, he's really, I want to say saved the season for them, but really got this team back on track. And Alex Smith at one point there, you thought was going to go into the hole that we thought originally he was going to go in the beginning of the season when they drafted Malone to come in here.
Mahomes. You were right the first time.
Sorry. Mahomes to come in here and take over the job. Well, Alex Smith started down that road, but then pulled himself out of it. Listen, Alex Smith has had a good year. Say what you want about him. The guy's thrown for 4,000 yards this year. Only had 5 interceptions, 26 touchdowns. That's a great year for a guy who's 33 years old and been around the block like Alex Smith has.
Best year of his career in every statistical category.
Yep.
The most yards he's ever had, the most touchdowns he's ever had, the best, not the best completion, the most attempts apparently he's ever had. I mean, he's really done a nice job, and this obviously was not why they drafted Mahomes.
Right.
But I got to tell you, he really seemed to be rejuvenated by having that guy behind him to push him. He really did. And you look at the way this team, again, it's an interesting team, Mike. 2,000-yard guys receiving, whether it was Tyreek Hill with the bombs or whether it was Travis Kelce, who's, if not for Gronk, is the best tight end in the NFL.
Absolutely.
The offense is interesting to me. It's a big play offense.
And the most cocky, too.
You got to love that.
Cockier than Gronk.
But you love that.
Oh, yeah. Talking crap, throwing flags.
Yep.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you go to the defensive side of the ball, you talk about Justin Houston. What he means to this team, 9.5 sacks and just a monster for guys to deal with. I mean, there's a guy coming in the playoffs that's going to be a big part of this team that's going to have to slow down quarterbacks. You can talk about Terrence Mitchell, Marcus Peters. There's a lot of guys on this team, name brand guys. I mean, when they lost Berry in the beginning of the year with that injury, you really thought that they were going to go in reverse. And really, it's funny, you haven't seen that much of Darrelle Revis.
No.
He did sign there in the last 3 games ago, but you haven't seen that much of him at all. More of a backup role now, which is fine.
Well, I think he's done a nice job. He's actually getting the ball getting thrown towards Peters a little more, which doesn't always happen. Peters had a bit of a Revis Island himself.
Yep.
If you will, but again, listen, they're a good team. They went into England and won a game this year, so you got to give them credit for that. They did have a 4-game losing streak. They actually had lost 6 of 7 at one point, but they've won their last 3. Last game doesn't matter. Against the Broncos, we are filming this prior to Week 17.
I think Benny Logan's been a little bit of a disappointment over there. I mean, but it is his first year coming from a Philadelphia team where different scheme, different setup. And you talk about Chris Jones having a great year too, 5.5 sacks for them. And their secondary, you know what? Say what you want about the secondary, it's hit or miss. It's not a shutdown secondary where they can really hamper you and really close you down for anything. But again, it's all going to go to their front four. Getting it pushed in the middle, and that's what they've been doing with Houston and some other guys in there that really get the job done for them and really cover up the secondary's flaws.
So you look at, I'm going to load the standings up here to see, and they're obviously, I think they're going to end up playing Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think is what
Which
the
is a
most
very
likely
winnable
scenario
game
is.
for them. Very winnable. It'll be
it's
in Kansas City.
It's a very interesting game to me.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I do think that they would win that game.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the Chiefs have let me down every year that I've tried to think they're going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
Last year they lost a playoff game at home against Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
They just can't seem to get out of their own way. But again, for the AFC West champs, if they get out of that game, they're probably going to have to play New England in New England. And I know that they won there earlier in the year. Both of these teams are not the same team.
Right.
So, I don't know. I have my doubts on that side of it, but you have to love their offense because whether, they can beat you a bunch of different ways. You want to make them do a ground game? Hunt had a great year. And really, the concern after Spencer Ware was down is what were they going to do? And Kareem Hunt's filled it admirably. That's his job. I don't think Spencer Ware is getting that job back. Again, I like the team. I do. But I think it's asking a lot of any team to go to New England and have to get a win. And that's what they're going to have to do in the second round. That I don't see.
I think Albert Wilson can help them out a lot in the way of he's got 3 touchdowns this year. I mean, you talk about Travis Kelce, you talk about Tyreek Hill being the main guys, absolutely. But I'm talking about Albert Wilson could be that extra wide receiver that they need to get open. Almost like, I'm going back a ways, but when you talk about Dallas, when you talk about when Alvin Harper was there, a lot of times they double teamed Michael Irvin, so Alvin Harper looked like the man then. And that's why he got the big contract when he left. Well, is that going to be the same difference here? No. But I'm saying when they face playoff teams, they're going to recognize to put somebody on Tyreek Hill that's going to cover him to a point. They're going to cover a guy to cover Travis Kelce to make sure he doesn't get a lot of play downfield like he normally does. So Albert Wilson's going to be a guy that can step up, take a little bit of pressure off, and be the speedster down the field to get a couple touchdowns here and there. So I think that's going to help as well with this Kansas City team. Now, is Alex Smith the guy to take him there? I think Alex Smith is. I think he's having a phenomenal year. I think he's an experienced veteran quarterback that can carry this team to a certain point, make plays, find the guy open, run for the first down, that I'd be comfortable with moving through the playoffs with. I really do. I think that first round playoff game, whether it's Baltimore or whether it's anybody, I think the Chiefs win. Number one, it's in Arrowhead. It's not the same place it is, but it is a tough place to play if you're an opposing team. I think they win that game. The second round, can they?
It's probably going to be New England.
Right. Can they get by New England? Probably not. I don't think that the way this team is set up on offense yet, they are a good offense. They're not an elite offense, and you're going to need to score some points against New England to beat them. You're not. You can't shut New England down to 13 to 20 points a game. It's not going to happen.
Again, they went in and won 42-27 to start the season. That game would not be a remix of that. I don't see that at all.
No.
I don't. Again, where's Alex Smith next year? Who would be really fit nicely? Jacksonville.
Yeah, but you know what? At this point in his career, Alex Smith, I don't know if he's got 2 or 3 years like this left. This is a system it took him how long to get accustomed to, and he's been in for a while. To jump into a new system and expect him to have the year he had this year,
but I think it's still an improvement if he goes there.
Oh, absolutely it is. And he can go to Denver. He can go to a lot of different places. I mean, I think
Mahomes is the future.
Yeah, Mahomes, you spent a first round pick on him. You moved up in the draft to get him. Yeah, and you got to get him in at some point. I think he's your guy you're looking to. And you know what? They better hope he's the man, because Alex Smith showed you he still can play. And if they held on to him a couple more years, maybe they signed him to another year deal, maybe to get him in there and mix Mahomes in there. Who knows? But we will see. So
that we will.
Yeah. In our passings, talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, we talked to our Chiefs correspondent Pete Sweeney about his thoughts about the Kansas City Chiefs this year, and this is what he had to say.
Hi, I'm Pete Sweeney, ArrowheadPride.com writer and Kansas City Chiefs affiliate for the Sports Box. And this is coming from Kansas City, which is a city very excited to have this Chiefs team locked in at number 4 in the AFC playoffs. They'll likely see the Baltimore Ravens, the Tennessee Titans, or the Buffalo Bills in this first-round game. And the key for the Chiefs this season is to be more like the team they've been lately than in the middle of the season. It's been a tale of 3 teams this year for the Chiefs. You had the 5-0 Chiefs, who everyone thought was the best team in football, knocked off the Patriots on opening night. No one was saying the Chiefs weren't the best team in football at that time. And then you saw the 1-6 Chiefs. A lot of trouble with the offense. The offense was exploited. And since then, you've seen the 3-0 Chiefs team. And I think it's because Andy Reid decided, okay, things are getting stale. I'm going to bench myself from play calling. He handed over the reins to offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. And since then, we've seen a rejuvenated Chiefs offense. A lot of run-pass option. And that is leading to success with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt. And when you think of those names, that's the key for the Chiefs. Use these guys. And Alex Smith knows how to. He's having the best year of his career, playing the best possible football at the right time. And that's why I believe the Chiefs will at least get out of this first game and move forward. On the defensive side of the football, we've seen improved defense in this 3-0 stretch. Bob Sutton made some subtle changes along the front of the defensive line. And since then, we've seen improved secondary play. Marcus Peters. He was suspended by the Chiefs for throwing that flag into the crowd during the Jets game, and since his return, it's been the old Marcus Peters, the one that turns the football over. And on the other side, Darrelle Revis is making quarterbacks throw in Peters' direction. We've also seen good secondary play from guys like Steve Nelson and Terrence Mitchell, role players for this Chiefs team. Bottom line for the Chiefs, they're playing the best possible football at the right time, and that's going to be why they're going to be a very dangerous team headed into this AFC side of the playoffs. For the Sports Box, my name is Pete Sweeney. Thanks for having me.
There he is.
Yeah, want to thank Pete, ArrowheadPride.com.
Absolutely.
Love him.
Check him out on his podcast. He's really got a great show.
Really good stuff there.
Real informative.
Chiefs fans, if you haven't yet come across him, make sure you give him a listen. I like him a lot.
Yeah, watch us first, then go down. So, but anyway, you talk about the Chiefs team. Can they get past New England? I'd love to say yeah, but I just don't think this team is set up to beat a New England team. I mean, New England, you are at the preference of an elite team.
It's going to depend which Chiefs you get. You know, like Pete said, it's a tale of three teams this year.
Yeah,
it really is very much like a barbell. They came out hot. They started to blow hard, and then they won a couple games after the fact. So they got to this point. I'll give them credit. I feel they will beat the Ravens. I don't, with any kind of confidence, that they're going to be able to go to New England and win again.
That's going to be tough.
I would like, and I don't have the stat in front of me, of who the last team was to win 2 games in New England in a season.
It's a shame that we're writing everybody off pretty much to go to New England and beat them, but it's really tough. It's really tough to go to New England, number one, and beat the Super Bowl champ. I mean, up that way.
They don't see it.
I mean, it's going to be tough. Can they do it? I wouldn't say no, but again, I'd give it a small percentage to go up there and beat them. I mean, again, it's going to be Kansas City's going to do everything right, not turn over the ball over, and New England's got to lay an egg.
Would that be a hope is not a strategy thing? Because I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
you don't want to say the team's totally out of the mix, because then
no,
why don't you just not play the AFC games?
No, crazy. Listen,
crazy
things can happen in individual games, and I will freely admit that.
Absolutely.
But I do think New England's going to the Super Bowl. I don't think Kansas City has a chance to beat them personally.
Yeah, I don't think Kansas City can get over that hump.
What would you spread that? What would you? It's got to be at least 7-9. Yeah,
9, I'd say. Yeah,
and
that's no knock to Kansas City. Can Kansas City
not
go
at all?
And be an underdog? Absolutely, Kansas City can go and be
I am not taking a shot at KC here at all. I'm big on New England right now.
It's almost better for them to be a big dog like that because it gives Kansas City motivation because they got nothing to lose. It's going in. They're supposed to get killed anyway, so why not just let it all hang out and go for it?
Yeah.
So, but that's what I think. So we will see the same. That'll be interesting. So that's all the time we have for our Kansas City Chiefs preview for the NFL. Keep an eye out for other teams. We've got a lot of other teams to do, a lot of preview action for you. Keep an eye out. We got all great stuff. And remember, you can always get us on social media if you need to.
We're all over the place. Facebook at Sportsbox Show. Like us there. Twitter at Sportsbox Show. Follow us there. Join us here on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. And join us also in Outside the Box, our Sportsbox official discussion group. It's on Facebook. Look it up. Easy to find. Just give us a little wink at the door. We'll let you in.
God damn, it's just one big party. It's unbelievable. So anyway, at the Sportsbox, folks, remember, the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching. See you.
This episode of The Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on The Sports Box.
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.